All right. Welcome everybody to our Monday live session. I'm Adam Hart.
And I am Carl Swantoon, and we have here a special guest, Jessica.
Hi, guys.
Well, we are Clear Impact Coaching. We want to welcome you to our weekly live session. Today, we are going to be revealing to you guys our morning ritual and chatting about why morning rituals are so important and how you can start to bring them into your daily routine.
Awesome. Great, thanks. And Jessica is someone that we worked with in the past. She was a past client of ours and now works with us. Super excited for you to join us. Thanks, Jessica.
What's your title, Jessica? How do we throw you on a pedestal here?
I don't really know.
I'll call you the head of membership growth and
outreach. Yeah.
Outreach.
Marketing management.
Come up with that big title.
Hang on a sec. Careful, Adam. Big title comes with big dollars.
Yeah.
All right.
Good point.
Careful. So I'd really like to just walk through it because there's a lot of people that maybe when you say morning ritual, what do you mean? Make my bed? And yeah, that can be part of it. But Adam, sort of just define what's a morning ritual before we get into examples.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key to it is just, and I think Tony Robbins talks a lot about this idea of the priming your state. And I know in our work, it's all about just getting your vibration in a state of abundance. And the morning ritual is key to being able to harness that.
Yeah, so a morning ritual, just in its core definition, would be something you do habitually, repetitively, early in the morning, which is a habit or I could say a ritual, but it's something you do in the morning. And, it takes so many different forms, right? So when specifically do you think it's important to do a morning ritual?
In the morning.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's critical that we, morning rituals need to begin the moment your eyes open.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Why?
Well, I even start mine before my eyes open.
Ah, nice. You're in dream state when you begin.
Awesome. And well, that leads to the next question, where? Because we're all eager to find out where Jessica sleeps. So where it could be in the forest, it could be on the beach. So where commonly do you have a morning ritual, Adam?
Yeah, well, I mean, I begin it in my bed and when I wake up, and it's definitely without getting into what the items are, but yeah, it's the moment my eyes open. I'm so patterned in the habit of it that's when I begin to engage. Is that for you too, Jess?
Yeah, same thing. And like I said, my mind wakes up, but then I close my eyes and I start my routine starts with my eyes closed before I actually settle to the light.
So do you complete your whole morning rituals? It sounds like you both complete all your rituals in bed. Is that where you guys do your morning ritual? Or is there more than that or different places?
It's where it begins.
Right? Yeah.
So where else?
Oh, for me, in the kitchen with small kids. Part of my morning ritual is in the kitchen, and then outside. I think outside is step 3, and then in my office is step 4.
Awesome. So there's a real string of activity you go through. I'd love to dig into what that is or examples. So maybe before we talk about why, or actually maybe let's talk about why first. What are the range of benefits one can get from having a morning ritual?
Jess, what do you think?
For me, it's just starting me off in that positive mindset. So the first thing I'm thinking about is something that makes me happy and make me feel joy and excited for my day and gratitude, then I'm coming out of my bedroom in a positive mindset. So that's the biggest benefit for me is I'm starting my day in a positive space. If I wake up and think about my alarm or I don't want to get up or something like that, I'm taking away the power of starting my day in gratitude.
Why else for you? Why else?
Just that routine. For me, I just find that if I commit to the routine, it becomes something I look forward to every day. I want to do it. It's giving me those healthy building blocks to just continue with a strong day. So.
What are some of the reasons that you do a morning ritual, Adam? Why do you do a morning ritual?
Well, I definitely got into it back when I was living with the scattered mind and just really wanting to find more focus and more clarity in my ADHD brain was just I'd wake up and all of a sudden I'd just be like gung ho. Here we go. I got this to
feel
do, and
that.
this to do, and this to do, and this to do, and this. So yeah, it just became. That's where the step one for me is in bed. It became so important to do a very particular sequence of steps to just calm my mind down, so that the rest of how I show up is completely different. So that's been my most important reason why.
So find some calm and focus. I think we're all nodding on that one for sure. To set a positive intention and to set some positive. And I think a lot of people, when they talk about morning rituals, especially I think for men, because we're so accomplishment focused, is to have a couple of little wins, little accomplishments, little things we've calmed. And a common one that others talk about is make your bed. The one I like to do is I do my dishes in the morning. And when I do my dishes, I do a gratitude practice. And doing my dishes makes me feel like, oh, good, kitchen's clean. It's something's been gotten done already. I feel activated to accomplish and complete things that day. Other things I've heard, and for me as well, people talk about is the opportunity to get your blood flowing, get your energy moving, because there's a real physiological benefit to, and we'll talk about what our rituals are in a moment, but yeah, get the blood moving and get, whether it's stretching or some sort of yoga, qigong, or and get the energy moving, right? Help support that energy for the day. I think another why too that maybe is a sort of a benefit down the road is it helps us reduce our stress, helps us reduce our inflammation, depending what practices we put in there. And I think if you out there listening, think about your own morning ritual. They're not always positive, right? A lot of people have developed habits in the morning, or rituals in the morning, which may actually detract from all of those good benefits we just talked about, because they're, hey, I always go through Tim Hortons and grab 2 muffins, a 6-pack of donuts, and a triple. And why? Because it revs up their day and they feel, pumped up with dopamine when they leave the lineup, and then they're napping at 9 o'clock. Or then there's so many other things, of course, that can not necessarily be acts of self-love. And I think for us, it's really intentional about what are we adding into our rituals that are acts of self-love, to support our physiology, to support our ability to be the best of ourselves. Right? So let's hear them. Jessica, why don't you start? What's your morning ritual?
So I start with, like I said, as soon as I know that I'm waking up for the morning, I close my eyes again and I do some breathing, some heart flow breathing. I really just take some time to just feel into the breath, and I don't really think much about anything else while I'm doing the breathing, just to calm myself first. And then I have like a vision board on my closet next to my bed. So I've put some photos that resonate for me. I also have all of my vision statement written out in affirmation form on that closet door. So I turn over on my bed because it's right there next to me, and I look at all the images. I continue with the breathing, and then I read the affirmations silently, like I just read them in my mind at first, and then I read them out loud. And then when I stand up, right after I finish that second one, I stand up, I put my right foot on the ground and I say thank, and I put my left foot and I say you. So it's my gratitude for being alive every day.
Awesome.
And then I just stand there for a few minutes in front of my vision and just feel into the images, look in the images, and really just allow it to take that feeling when I exit my room for the day.
Great.
And then it just depends on the time I have. Sometimes I get right into some stretching or some exercises. I have a routine that I do daily for chiropractic exercises, or that qigong, or some kind of morning. If I have the kids home, it's a different story because we've got the whole school morning, making lunches, prepping stuff. So then sometimes my routine is delayed until I drop them off at school. And then I get out and do my my nature connection, grounding, time at the water, gratitude.
So good.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you, Jess. And some of you may have heard that you may not understand a couple of the practices that Jess starts with, and it's powerful that you can do them both in bed. So it doesn't matter if you're a shut-in, it doesn't matter if you're 92 years old, it doesn't matter if you're 12 and your parents are telling you you're not allowed to get out of bed yet. You can do these things. And the two practices that Jess alluded to are heart flow breathing and vision activation, two of our foundational practices in our coaching program that really open the door for self-care throughout your day and throughout your life when you develop those practices to the level of becoming habits that you crave. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but I think that's awesome, Jess. You just touched on so many different benefits. You get the physical, you get your positivity, and you get some accomplishment. It's great, really powerful string of stuff. And you can, I guess, if you're listening, you can think of if you went through what Jessica goes through in the morning, how good would you feel just 15-20 minutes after you got up that you've just really done all these wonderful pieces of self-love. So it's great. Adam, what about you?
Phase one is the bed. So yeah, as soon as my eyes open, I drop into heart flow. It has to be there. And just right away, also just connecting to my mind in that way of noticing what it's trying to do and what it's trying to say to me to distract me from even engaging in the first thing, which is heart flow. Then usually if it's light outside, which obviously this time of year hasn't been so consistent, but if the light is available, natural sunlight, I'll open the blinds and I'll make sure I get some natural sunlight immediately before any lights go on. Then I'm downstairs because usually the kids are making a big hoopla, and so the practice at that moment becomes again more heart flow, and feeling into my vision of who I want to be as the best father possible to the kids.
Right.
And then pretty quick into that process, I'll get outside. And this is all within the first 10 minutes, really. I'm outside, I'm barefoot, so I'm grounding, right. Getting the benefits of connecting to the earth. And I'm squatting, probably doing about 10 squats over a minute or two period, connecting to my vision, who I am in this moment. How do I want to feel in this moment? And then I come into my office, shut the door, and I just immerse myself in a vibration of, again, of how I serve myself, how I serve my family, my community, and the world. And that's it. And then sometimes I actually, I'll play with my monkey mind a little bit, especially in relation to my background with having sugar addiction. So some mornings I'll actually add in, I'll stand in front of the cupboard and I'll play with my mind a little bit, and I'll just I'll grab a box of cookies that we might have, and I'll just breathe into noticing what my mind is doing while I'm staring at the cookies, and just trying to make friends with that old response that I used to have around that. So sometimes I'll throw something like that in there.
So you're getting a real revealing look at the sadomasochistic side of Adam Hart right now. So yeah, that's tough. That's a little bit of resilience right there when you can tease the monkey mind and still choose to be who you choose to be in that moment. So it's really powerful. And
it's funny.
Yeah. Grant, look at all that stuff that Adam's done in the beginning of his day, and it's still only 10-15 minutes in, and he's connected to his vision. He's done his heart flow. He's connected to natural light, to grounding, to some stretching, some things like squatting, forward folds. Really basic stretches are so important for our anatomy. And that's a process that in the work we do, we call biostacking. The opportunity to combine a number of acts of self-love on top of each other, so it doesn't take any extra time out of your day. I know we all have busy lives and the revved up culture we live in, but we can do so much good for ourselves in a short period of time if we can stack those things up.
And you do notice, before Carl, you share yours, you do notice though when you do this that the benefits that come from a morning ritual in this way, that you're really hacking into your own nervous system and your own energy. It's not just for you, it's for those that are around you as well. And so, as a parent of two young kids, my kids being 7 and 10, if I don't do my morning routine, it's not pretty. And as long as that's the energy that I bring into the kitchen after I've done the routine, it's pretty beautiful.
So powerful. Thanks for reminding me of that, Adam. The reason Adam and I started to do this work is because we are intentional parents, and we're looking to be the best fathers we can be, and the best support spouses or significant others, and it's important. It's important.
And Jess too, right?
Right.
Yeah, actually, for me too. Like, I have teenage girls, and teenagers do not like getting up for school. And every morning when they open that door, they have this sunken head and they're just not wanting to start their day. But when I have done my morning routine and I'm in that vibration of feeling so great, I don't even say anything. I just approach them and I hug them and I hold them for a moment. And then, that's all I need to do. And it's like instantly shifts it instead of going, oh, like prying into. Yeah. So it does offer space for those around you. Because before having a good ritual, I would head straight to the coffee pot and don't talk to me till I'm awake kind of person, and that energy wasn't there for them. So it does give space for them to feel better in the morning as well.
Before I share my ritual, Adam, I just want to remind us that if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, wherever that's showing up, and give us a comment. Tell us what your morning ritual is. If you like what you're seeing, give us a like. We'd love to be able to share this with more people. So what do? Well, I get up in the morning, as I said, I much like you guys, I wake up breathing, and it's just automatic now. I wake up and I'm taking some deep heart flow breaths into my lungs. Really, I just notice myself waking up. I just notice those layers of sleep coming off me as I'm oxygenating at a good level. I get up and I usually go to the restroom. I go to the bathroom first. That's a personal. But I usually do the dishes right away, and then I go outside. And my outside practice, as is with Adam, and I'm sure Jess mentioned as well, is barefoot on the ground. I'm intentional of looking at this towards the sun, getting the sunlight in my eyes, knowing that as the sunlight hits our eyes, without glasses, without sunglasses or contacts, it helps to recharge our mitochondria, hitting the melanin in our eyes. And it's super powerful to have more energy through your days to connect to that morning sunlight, as well as, of course, our cortisol hormone production. And I do a practice of Qigong and yoga. It really, really helps me to loosen my body. I've had a number of injuries through my life. That helps me to open my energy and my physical strength and energy for the day. And then that's when I do my vision work. So I connect to my vision while I'm looking at the sun, while I'm grounding, while I'm stretching. And much like both of you, when I finish that, I'm maybe 15, 20 minutes into my day, and I just feel alive because I'm already going through my day so positively. I feel love for myself and for my opportunity to be in service and be all I can be for other people in my world. So yeah, that's my journey. So I want to go back to, and maybe Adam, you could share something that's consistent between all three of us, is what we call in the Unleash Your Energy coaching program, 2 foundational practices. And why are those 2 practices so important now?
Yeah, I mean, they're really meant to be able to harness a separation from our day-to-day fight or flight stress response. We talk a lot about cultural norms and things that we just think are normal for us, such as artificial light, such as rubber-soled shoes, just lots of things we don't even see. But then there's the everyday experience of life, and it becomes this day-to-day where we don't really know any different other than just being revved up all the time. And
it's stressing our bodies out.
Well, the immediate reaction is the brain starts feeding off of the hormonal production, the adrenaline and cortisol. The body becomes inflamed. The mitochondrial function decreases. Your immune function starts to crash somewhat. Your brain function shut off. So you're not thinking clean and clear. You're more in brain fog and agitation, frustration. So it's really important that we recognize that we don't have to jump on a whole bunch of things to do, which is what we're being told as a cultural norm. You got to jump on a diet. You got to jump on a fitness program. You got to meditate for an hour. You got to do your yoga. It's like, no, the nervous system just wants you to love it. And it wants you to love it with the right tools in the right order, and just teach it to nourish the opposite state of that fight or flight or freeze state, which is the parasympathetic, the calm, rest and digest. And so what we teach is really the methodology of using 2 practical and easy to implement tools that don't take up much time at all, but are so powerful. And that's heart flow breath practice, which is a 33-second nervous system reset. It's training the vagus nerve to create coherence. and then the vision work. And when you do the combination of the two together, you begin to create this very beautiful space very quickly in which you start to have access to choice in every moment. And that's what we're up to.
Yeah, beautiful. And it's not difficult to learn. It does take practice. It takes some support, because guess who's along for the ride? Right, that little monkey, that damn little monkey, which you just learn to make friends with. You're never getting rid of them. So we just learn how to make friends with that monkey mind. And as Adam said earlier, and play with it a little bit, poke it with a stick a little bit now and again and have some fun with it. Adam, thank you for this, for setting up the live. If anybody is interested to chat more about this, learn more about those foundational practices, give us a comment below. If you're on YouTube, give us a comment, a like, and happy to reach out and have a discussion with you about how you can activate some of this in your lives.
Before we're done, I do want to ask Jess, your experience having been in the program and also obviously utilizing HeartFlow and the vision work, how did you find this to have impact you in relation to also, like, because we do tend to do so many different things in our lives around our self-care. How was this approach different for you, and what was the impact for you from doing it?
I think the simplicity of these foundational practices were just really easy to implement for me, because I think most of us are so stressed about being busy and how many things we need to do, especially when we have kids at home in the morning. So something that was so simple that I could do still from my bed within minutes before starting my day, I found it sustainable. It was easy to implement, and it was easy to make it into a routine. And then naturally, I created more room and more time and more space to add more of these healthy self-love practices, and combining things, like you said, the bio stacking. It was, all of a sudden, oh, okay, well, if I'm going to take the dog out to pee, why go with shoes on? Just go out barefoot and stand, even if it's only 5 minutes, standing on the grass. Getting that light in my eyes at the same time, activating the vision at the same time. So it doesn't have to take an hour. It can all be done in a matter of minutes once you start to get comfortable in that routine and realize you can add them all together.
Yeah. Yeah. And because I think what's important for most folks is understanding the feeling experience of the separation from your fight or flight stress response in the day-to-day. You don't often have an understanding of what that feels like as an experience to actually live from and make powerful choices from. For you, your experience of creating separation from your daily fight or flight, what did that provide you, especially obviously with the morning routine? What did you notice it started to provide you with?
More time. I honestly felt like I had more time in my day and more joy. So we start the music. We have music on in the morning now, dancing in the kitchen. The kids are dancing while they're getting ready for school. Like, that was never the case before. So it almost feels like there's just less rushing around. Yeah.
Love it.
I love that component of life is going to happen. There's stuff that we have to do every day, but we always have opportunity to enjoy every moment. And when our nervous system's calm, we have the ability to see what fits and what works and what we enjoy and what just helps our day flow. And once you're flowing, it's like, this experience is great, even if it's not stuff that is, that you really would like to be doing overall. We all have to work. We all have to do different things. That's great.
And one other thing that I noticed is I used to grab my phone as the very first thing I did when I woke up. And what would I do on there? Scroll through messages, check emails, get caught up on Facebook, things that aren't benefiting my routine. And now I don't even touch my phone. That's, I do all of this morning stuff. I have no desire to even look at it. So we can create the time when we give up, some of these other things that aren't necessarily practicing self-love.
And I think that leads to one of the key benefits of a morning ritual around cravings, how it does start to shift what you do crave. You do start to crave the things that make you feel as joyful as the vision work makes you feel and the HeartFlow makes you feel. And I think the key piece around this, and what, Jess, you talk about how you guys are dancing in the morning. We have talked a lot in the past, most recently around regulation, co-regulation. And having the right morning ritual is what we're sharing, especially as parents. the ability for you to use the morning ritual to create a co-regulation experience is unbelievable. And that's definitely been one of the most powerful benefits of a morning ritual for me, is the way it helps me regulate my nervous system in a way where I show up in that heart-centered space for my family, as you mentioned, just for you. And I'm sure, Carl, you've noticed how that functions in your family too.
It's so beautiful because you release all that anxiety and tension and worry about your children's health and wellness and happiness, and needing to fix them and needing to do stuff for them and all that stuff, recognizing that where you're just showing up in a calm, loving space, you're giving them everything they need. Yeah, you know, you're there to help them, but they're gonna blossom. It's like you're planting the seed and fertilizing the ground for them so they can grow as they need to grow. And it just feels incredible.
Awesome. All right, guys. Carl,
Yeah, thanks.
finish us off.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Again, love to hear about your morning ritual. If you want to hear more about ours and the practices that we teach, give us a note below, and we'll start a conversation. Have a super fantastic day, everybody.
Thanks, Jess, for joining us.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
awesome.
having me.
See you later.